Now we'll be taking up few practice problems based on the solubility product, right? So the first question here is the solubility of AgCl in water at 25 degrees Celsius is this 1.06 into 10 raised to the power minus 5 moles per liter, right? And what do we have to find? We have to find the solubility product, right? So what you are going to do in this case, in this kind of question, so first of all you have to consider the salt and you need to write the expression for KSP, right? So that means there is this weak salt, so it gets dissociated to form this, and there exists an ionic equilibrium, you know that, right? So if I wish to write an expression for KSP, then it is the concentration of the ions, you know that, right? Now the value of the KSP actually depends upon, you know, that the concentration of Ag ion and concentration of Cl negative ion, right? And what you are given with, you are given with that this AgCl concentration is 1.06 into 10 raised to the power minus 5 moles per liter, right? You are given this. So that means because this 1 mole AgCl forms 1 mole Ag positive and 1 mole Cl negative, right? So that means if AgCl concentration is this, then that means the Ag concentration is equal to the concentration of the AgCl, because 1 mole and the 1 mole, right? And similarly the concentration of the Cl negative ion is equal to the concentration of the, again, AgCl, because 1 mole and 1 mole, right? So that means we have been provided that this AgCl concentration is this. So that means Ag concentration is also equal to this 1.06 into 10 raised to the power minus 5 moles per liter, right? Similarly, it also depends upon the same concentration of AgCl. So again, Cl negative ion comes out to be the same value, 1.06 into 10 to the power minus 5 moles per liter, right? So must be thinking that why, I think you got it. What is the reason that they both possess the same value? Because the moles are same, right? And they depend upon the concentration of the salt, as they are ion of the same salt and even the moles are same. That means the concentration of ions are just same to the concentration of the salt. That is why we took a same value. Now we'll be substituting this value in this expression to calculate KSP. So KSP is equal to 1.06 into 10 raised to the power minus 5, again multiplied by the concentration of Cl negative. So 1.06 into 10 raised to the power minus 5. So this is how you are going to calculate the KSP solubility product constant, which after multiplying it we will be getting 1.1 into 10 raised to the power minus 10. So this will be the value for the KSP. I think it's clear. It's so simple that you need to just write an expression, then you need to write a value, you need to find the concentration of the ions, then by just substituting we get the value for the KSP, right? Now look at the second question. It is slightly different from the first one. It is the solubility of MgOH whole twice is this, and it is gram per liter. It was mole per liter, it is gram per liter. This point to be noted, right? We need to have concentration in moles per liter, right? So that means first thing which strikes in your mind is that it is given in gram per liter. So we need to convert into moles per liter, right? So, and the temperature is 290 degrees Celsius. Again, we have to find the KSP at same temperature. At same temperature, why the same temperature is given? Because we know that the value of KSP remain constant when it is at same temperature, right? It changes with change in temperature. That is why it's C. You need to remember that its value totally depend upon the temperature. And you are also provided with the molar mass, that is 58 gram per liter. Question must be striking in your mind that in the first question we didn't use this thing, the molar mass at all, and in this we are going to use the molar mass. So where is that difference? You're right, the difference is that it is in this the concentration is given in moles per liter, and here we have in gram per liter. So in order to convert gram per liter into moles per liter, we have to divide it by the molar mass, right? So first of all we'll write an expression for the salt. So this magnesium hydroxide get dissociated to form Mg2 positive and OH negative, right? How many Mg? 1. So there no need to put any power to it, but OH is 2, so we need to put this 2 here, right? So that means this is now the expression for it, equilibrium, dynamic equilibrium, and now we are writing the expression for KSP. So again it comes out to be Mg2 positive. You know that how to write it, right? Now on what factor the concentration of Mg2 positive depend? as it is the 1 mole and here it is the 1 mole of Mg. That means it totally depends upon the MgOH whole twice, which comes out to be 8.352 into 10 to the power minus 3 gram per liter, but we have to take it in moles per liter. So we are just I'm dividing at the same place. So the molar mass is 58. So we divide it by this, and what do we get after solving it? We get 1.44 into 10 to the power minus 4 moles per liter. So that means Mg2 positive, this MgOH whole twice concentration is this, and Mg2 positive concentration is equal to this because both are 1 mole. That means the same concentration, right? But now we'll look for the concentration of OH negative ions. As we know that how many OH are involved? Obviously 2 OH is there, 2 moles, but here it is 1 mole. So that means if we wish to have the concentration of OH, we need to multiply the value of MgOH whole twice by 2. So substituting it, after solving, I'm just writing directly the answer, 2.88 into 10 to the power minus 4 moles per liter. Right, so this is the concentration of the OH negative ion and this is the concentration of Mg2 positive. Now, we'll be substituting this value in this given equation, in this one, to find the value for the Ksp. So, Ksp becomes Mg2 positive OH negative whole twice, right, and we have Mg2 positive as 1.4 into 10 to the power minus 4. And OH we have 2.88 into 10 to the power minus 4, and you have to put 2, don't forget, because this 2 matters a lot, and after solving you are going to get an answer. So this is how you are going to find the Ksp. And what is the difference actually that exists between these two problems? It is that it shows that the moles are equal and here the moles are unequal. So if you get the moles unequal, you need to equal those moles, or you need to just use the moles to find out the given concentration of that specific ion. Then only you will be able to solve the numerical. So this is what is the numericals which you'll be getting on the simple numericals or the basic numericals based on the solubility product. I'm not talking of the applications because we'll be taking an application in the next attempt, but still for this moment, if somebody asks you to find out the value for the Ksp, that is found in such a way, right? Now we'll do this common ion effect. We are done with the solubility product, and now we'll be doing up the common ion effect, and then we'll be taking the duo applications together. Now, what is this common ion effect, right? You did this common ion effect in that salt hydrolysis as well, right? In the buffer solution as well. So, but what is the common ion effect? As the name suggests, that means some ion is going to be common, right? So, what is that common ion, and when it gets common, and what is that effect of that common ion, right? So, or you can say, where do we get to see that common ion effect? So, just look at the board carefully. I'll state an example, then we'll just straight away come to the definitions, right? Then you will be able to understand the concept completely. So here we have common ion effect. Suppose I have a weak electrolyte, right? Suppose I take an example of acetic acid, and you know it is a weak acid or it is a weak electrolyte. So that means there exists an ionic equilibrium between acetate ions and hydrogen ion, right? Now what I am doing, I am adding to it the salt of strong electrolyte, which is formed from this weak electrolyte. Or what we'll do is, we'll take the acid base example, it will be more convenient for you to understand. Okay, just wash your mind, just look at the board again. So what is this common ion effect? Suppose I take an example of weak acid. Again, it is acetic acid. There exists an ionic equilibrium, you know that. It's like that, right? Now what I do, I add the salt to it, which is formed of weak acid and strong base. That means the same weak acid is here, but it has a strong base. So let us take an example, CH3COONA, which is formed from acetic acid and sodium hydroxide. You know that acetic acid is a weak acid, NaOH is a strong base. They both combine to form this sodium acetate, right? And we know that it gets fully dissociated. It's a good electrolyte. So it will get dissociated to form acetate ion and Na positive. right? So what change we are going to see here? Just look at the board. What I'm just repeating again. We took a solution of weak acid. What happens? It gets there's an ionic equilibrium between the ions and the undissociated molecules of CH3COH, right? It is present in the solution. Now what I'm doing is I'm adding a salt to it, which is formed of weak acid and strong base, and it has the ability to dissociate it up to a greater extent. So as shown that it is just dissociated into by a larger value, right? Now what is going to happen? That means when it will get dissociate, that means this acetate ion concentration is just going to increase, right? Because it gives the same ion, it is the common ion, that means this common ion concentration is going to increase. Now what happens when this common ion concentration will increase? So obviously you know that according to the Lee-Charpy principle, if the concentration of any of the product or a reactant is increased, the equilibrium shift in that particular direction in which it gets more consumed, right? Or you can say the equilibrium just shift into the direction in which the stress gets reduced, and here the stress is the increase in the concentration of acetate ions. So that means when the concentration of this acetate ion will increase, so that means equilibrium will shift into the backward direction. That means it will suppress the dissociation of the weak acid. So this is the common ion effect. Again, I am repeating in a, you can say, a bookish language. Just listen to me. It is actually the suppression of the weak acid or a weak base or a weak electrolyte. You can use any of the term, right? It is the suppression of the dissociation of the weak acid or a weak electrolyte or a weak base when we add some common ion, or you can say when we add some solution containing a common ion to this kind of solution. Right, so this is a common ion effect. That means the dissociation of the weak electrolyte, weak acid or a weak base gets suppressed. How it gets suppressed? When any you can say a salt or any substance or any compound is added to it which contains this common ion. So that means it will just increase that concentration of that common ion, and the dissociation will get reduced and the equilibrium will shift into the backward direction. And this is the common ion effect, and you must remember that we use this common ion effect in the buffers as well, right? So this is how you're going to attempt this solubility product and common ion effect. And now we'll be taking up the applications of both, right? There's applications where they are used and what is their use, and when, or you should know that what is the actual use of this solubility product and common ion effect. We'll be taking up now.